them beautiful ships them days. Clippers with tall masts touching the sky. We'd be sailing out, bound down round the Horn, maybe. And astern, the land be sinking low and dying out. But we'd give it no heed but a laugh and never look behind. A lot of us dreaming dreams antique. 'Twas them days a ship was part of the sea, and the sea joined all together and made it one.
The art of wooden boat building has been with us thousands of years. Until this century, civilizations relied on their wooden boats. The most maneuverable prevailed in battle. The swiftest ruled the trade routes, and seaworthy ships led waves of exploration. History no longer hinges on wooden boats, but still there remains an aura of adventure and romance in civilization's most artistic craft. The Pacific Northwest, with its hundreds of miles of sheltered cruising grounds and a heritage of lumbering ships, remains a stronghold of wooden boat builders, some fanatically traditional, others on the leading edge of technology. In Washington's San Juan Archipelago, just a day's sail from Seattle, a contemporary custom wooden cruising boat is taking shape. Nestled within the rural, self-sufficient community of Lopez Island is a small wood shop where the boat builder's art takes form. Loon, a cold-molded cedar-built 41-foot motor sailor, is a 2.5-year custom project tailored for cold Northwest and Alaskan waters. It is an evolutionary collaboration, beginning with its owner, Dr. Sandy Bill, in the hands of the builder, Steve Brouwer, and much in the spirit of Robert Perry, one of America's most respected cruising boat designers, who appreciates that all wooden boats have evolved from a traditional art.
It may not want to follow the face. It may want to be a nice oval.
Right.
It probably does. It'll be a nice oval shape.
Dr. Bill's boat is now a nice family cruising boat with the emphasis on sort of wet, cold weather operation. Inside steering, comfortable pilot house to sit around in when it's wet outside. And I like to think of it as being a really pretty and graceful shape that will just really enhance the environment of the islands and the San Juans. It's going to be really in harmony with its surroundings. When I designed this boat, another boat I had designed had broken up, had hit some rocks, and was totally lost. And so when I designed this boat, I was in a little bit of a reactionary period to the loss of that other boat. So I designed in a series of big laminated web frames to help hold this boat together in a really critical situation.
Well, the construction of the boat, you see here is a ring frame, and down below are some floor timbers, and the hull planking here is also exposed. This boat is a cold molded boat, and it's the hull is laid up out of 4 layers of planking. First layer is 4 1/2, second and third layer are diagonal veneers. Wood is stiffer than fiberglass or aluminum or steel for its weight. Now, the disadvantage of wood is that its strength is in one direction. So the disadvantage of wood is overcome by by layering pieces of wood in many directions. The ring frames in this boat were built up out of several layers of lamination. This particular one, because of its tight curve and radius, was built up out of 1/8-inch laminations, which were resawn from rough stock and then milled and clamped up on a jig to get the correct shape. Each ring frame in the boat is of a specific shape, and each one had to be done separately.
Dr. Bill had crossed the Atlantic in a Perry-designed Valiant 40, handling her easily through squalls and blustery trades. He was inspired by the thought of having a new cruiser designed by Perry and built right in his own cruising grounds, where the custom project could be nurtured through completion.
Although I don't know that you'd lean back.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Dr. Bill's boat's an interesting project. You know, the nice thing about custom boat projects is that they are really and truly extensions of these people's almost fantasy.
One of the things I asked for was a double-ended hull. Reason is I had double-ended hulls before on small boats. And one of the features, of course, is that it has a good run. Also, I'd been familiar with a boat designed by Perry called the Valiants. I came across the Atlantic with one, and they're very sea-kindly. For an oncoming wave from the stern will lift the boat up and will not come aboard. So they're very, very nice looking as far as I'm concerned, and a very suitable sea boat. This forward cabin is obviously quite elegant. It has a large V-berth with lots of space in it. Forward of that is the chain locker, which will be closed off. It's where the line and the chain comes down in from the deck, the anchor. Now there's headroom right here, and plenty of it. There'll be a porthole here for light. There'll be ventilation here also. Now coming aft, you come to what is a split head. On this side here is a toilet and also a shower, which can be closed off, and a wash basin here, which also can be closed off, so you can have multiple people or two using the facilities. And coming back here to the main cabin, if you will, although it may not, or at least to the central cabin, is the galley, a hanging locker here, and the galley here, and a settee and a pilot berth here, combination settee and pilot berth. Now the walls, if you call them that, are actually the inside layer of the cold molded hull, which is about 1.25 inches thick. And the surface is such that it doesn't have to be covered up the way it does in a metal boat or a fiberglass boat because of the natural beauty of the wood.
Unlike some high-tech methods utilizing synthetics, wooden boats have a life of their own. Each new cut exposes a swirling grain, a new face, or a finish that has never been seen before. With a group effort like Loon, no detail is too small to discuss. No shortcuts. As woodworkers, just a quiet dedication to perfection. Deeper than the beauty of polished hardwoods, the fragrant shavings curling ankle deep, and the art of skillful craftsmen, lies an integrity of design and construction that comes alive in the simple process of working with wood. And where boats like Loon come together, the art lives on to launch again.